It is the moment of truth. I have tried so many skincare products, so many that I can't even keep up with a lot of them. I've tried enough products to where I can kind of rank a lot of them that I know you guys are probably considering purchasing, or maybe you've like seen go viral that like you really want to try, but you want to see a real raw, honest review first, a real honest ranking to see what products are probably going to be worth it to try out and spend your hard-earned money on. I am going to be ranking every single product I own, but with a couple of caveats. I've tried a lot of products, so these are all of the things that I remember. Second caveat, I'm just going to be basically reviewing like the basic staples like oil cleansers, exfoliators, toners, serums, essences, and moisturizer. These are like the basic staples that if you're into skincare, you're gonna need. I feel like I don't have to say this with you guys, but these are my opinions as someone who is a dry-skinned, sensitive girly, who's acne prone as well, and who has eczema. So those are going to be pretty big factors in how I review these things. So just keep that in mind. But anyone and everyone of all skin types can watch this video and take something away from it. So let's go ahead and get into the tea. Oil cleansers. This one breaks my heart. The Fenty oil cleanser. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because I love every Fenty product I have tried besides this one. Maybe, just maybe, it might have just been because I got like this travel sized tube. Maybe the tube was just like not a good one. Or maybe it just like settled too much or something like that. But it had so much potential. I love the way that Fenty products in general smell, but especially skincare and hair care. With this specific oil cleanser, it came separated. There was this delicious, delectable smelling bottom part of the oil cleanser, which was more just oil, and I thought that was the whole cleanser. I was like, oh, okay. The way the bottle is set up too, you kind of have to push the top to dispense, so it was really easy to dispense because it was just straight up liquid. Like I would just press the button and it would all come out. But then I got to this like chunky gel part, which I guess was supposed to be mixed in with the oil part because it has no scent at all. It reminds me of Vaseline, and it's fine to cleanse your face with, but I just have other cleansers that are more appealing. It's kind of like a mixed up cleansing balm. This one kind of broke my heart a little bit too. I don't hate it, but it was also my first ever Korean oil cleanser I've used. So at the time I was like, oh my God, this is pretty cool. It's really cool that I can just squirt a little bit in my hand and oil cleanse my face with it. But it's just not the best oil cleanser that I've used. I've definitely used better. There's nothing specifically wrong with it. It's just a standard oil cleanser. And it is a little bit pricey. I think that's why I probably put it where I did. For it being a standard oil cleanser, for me, I think it's a little bit more expensive than the next item, which is the Softy Mo oil cleanser. Actually, I'm kidding. That was the first oil cleanser that I ever used. It was very cheap. It had a really nice, clean smell to it, not overwhelming at all. So if you are new to skincare, or if you're really trying to try something out, or if you're trying to get into like Korean skincare, or just even taking better care of your skin, that is definitely a go-to that I would recommend, especially if you're into Korean skincare. Next is the Beauty of Joseon Balm. This one was one of my favorites. You don't need much. You literally just need a little whoop and your makeup is off. Florasis, the reason why this is above the Beauty of Joseon, in my opinion, they're both kind of on the same level, but it's because the Florasis oil cleanser and the cleansing balm have this beautiful fragrance to it, okay? And I'm a very sensitive girl, but that fragrance, it's so natural, clean, it's kind of like flowery. Not only that, but they do have oil cleansers in these little like one-use travel sized oil dispenser things, which if you travel a lot, like in any capacity, you need those immediately. Like that saved me so many times from overpacking and having more space. Chef's kiss. More companies need to have like single-use things like that. I know it's a little wasteful, but they should at least have the option. Honestly, you can make it a little bit more economically sustainable, like biodegradable and all of that stuff. So honestly, take notes, companies. Y'all need to hop on that. And finally is the Anua Heart Leaf. This one, blackheads out like no other. It does take a little bit of work to get my makeup off in comparison to, for say, the Beauty of Joseon. So I do have to work with it a little bit more to get my makeup off. But when it comes to getting my blackheads and all of those little impurities out, slippery. That's the best way I can describe it. It's the most slippery oil cleanser you can use. It's definitely somewhat affordable, and 10 out of 10 would recommend. My favorite oil cleanser I have ever used will be the Anua Heartleaf. Next category is cleanser. First, we're starting out with the Round Lab cleanser. And this was so disappointing for me because when I was doing my research on Korean skincare before I really got into it, that was the one that I saw the most people raving about. I was like, oh, well, I mean, and usually TikTok is on game. But also you have to consider that skin types are going to also determine what works and what doesn't, which is why I wish a lot more like TikTokers or even just people on social media in general made it clear that like this is what works for them, instead of like deceiving people into being like, oh my god, like you need this, like everyone needs to try this, and if you don't try it, you're missing out. If you have this specific skin type, yes, it is very, very cleansing, which is good, of course, but it's better for people who have oily skin. I could see that cleanser being a miracle worker for people who have oily skin. It's gonna get rid of all of your oil on your face, which is exactly why it doesn't work for me as a dry, sensitive skin girl. Like literally my shit would get chapped. I'm just thinking about the feeling of my skin being that dry, like, The next one I would have to say would be the Anua Heartleaf, which is really sad because I do love Anua a lot. But again, I think it's just one of those cases of it not working well for me. It's just a standard foam cleanser that's a little bit too harsh for me, like stripping wise. It definitely takes a lot of moisture away from my skin. It doesn't really treat my skin like a lot of my other cleansers do. And it's just not my cup of tea. But again, if you have oily skin, it might be the one for you. But even then, I don't think it would be the best cleanser that you can find out there. Next would have to be the Cosrx. This one was good. It wasn't stripping. It didn't strip my skin. It left my skin with some of my moisture, and it almost was like an essence / face wash, but it just isn't that good. It's okay, it works, but it's not jaw-dropping, flabbergastingly gotta run to the store and buy 3 more bottles of it. Next is the Naturium Niacinamide. I have 2 of the little travel bottles. I break out when I travel. I never fail to not break out when I'm traveling. But lately I've been taking that Naturium, I hope I'm saying that right. I've been taking that Naturium face wash with me. Breakouts have subsided. I don't need to double cleanse or any of that. And it doesn't strip my skin. It cleanses my skin well enough without stripping my skin. Next is the Panoxyl Creamy Wash with benzoyl peroxide. Listen, I am so glad that I have been chosen by Panoxyl to work with them. This video is not sponsored by them, by the way, but they've sent me a couple of products, and my skin has completely 360 for the better since I started working with them. That one doesn't strip my skin too much, but it cleanses my skin so well, and it eases my breakouts so well. It gets rid of hyperpigmentation. It's just like the best like power combo for acne prone skin. I could see it working for oily skin, dry skin, combination skin. If you have acne prone skin in any capacity, that's gonna be, Panoxyl in general is gonna be your bestie. Next is the Kojic acid soap. You gotta be careful where you buy it from, because the first time I bought it, it was glycerin soap, and I was very upset and hurt, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm never buying that soap ever again. And then I kept seeing it on my For You page, and people like genuinely reviewing it, being like, oh my god, this got rid of my hyperpigmentation. So I was like, okay, let me give it another shot. Let me just do my research, buy it from a credible shop, and try it again. When I tell you guys, I have never had my skin heal up the same way. I haven't even gone through halfway through the bar, but my skin's hyperpigmentation has completely 360. If you use that in the morning and then pair it with like something like the Panoxyl at night, that has been the best face wash combo I could have ever done for myself. It's so freaking good. So that means my favorite cleanser is the Panoxyl Acne Treatment Bar. Favorite cleanser of all time. As a dry skin girl who also has acne prone skin and is sensitive, I'm sure you guys can imagine it's pretty hard to find a good cleanser for me that actually heals my acne. Gets rid of breakouts. The Panoxyl Acne Treatment Bar does that. Like, it's quite crazy. If I'm having a week where I'm just breaking out, I must use that morning and night. My symptoms will start to go away within like 2 to 3 days. If you have acne, get it now. Put it in the cart. Matter of fact, go click the product. I have the product in this video for you. Click the product button or whatever is there, okay? Scroll until you see Acne Treatment Bar. Click on it, put it in the cart, go pick it up at Target, go pick it up at wherever you got it, or get it shipped. Do what you gotta do. But get that damn acne treatment bar. You're gonna thank me. Next are exfoliators. We're gonna start out with the Skin by Kim exfoliator. It is a very, very, very standard exfoliating toner. For the price, it's like, sit down. You know what I mean? Like, it's not harsh, which is good. It gets the job done, but it's not anything special. And especially considering the price, I just don't think it's worth it. Next is the Ordinary exfoliator. That one is really good. It's a little too good though. Now, as someone with sensitive skin, I can rarely use it. I just haven't been able to use it that much because my skin is just way too sensitive for it. Next is the Anua. It's a little squirt bottle exfoliator. That one is good, but again, it's not anything crazy. It is a little harsh, but it does get the job done very, very well. Then we have the Clinique, the clarifying lotion. That one I really like because it is an everyday use type of thing. And that has saved me when I break out because, I have a lot of things that need to come out of my skin, and that is what really, really helps me do that. But another thing that helps me do that a lot is the Ordinary glycolic acid. Let me tell you something. That glycolic acid, I have been meaning to try it for a really, really long time. I finally got it. I don't know. I just didn't get around to getting it for a while, but people have been using it on their armpits, their hoo-ha area where they have pubic hairs and stuff like that for ingrowns. And let me tell you, I am an ingrown hair queen because my hairs are 4C, okay? So I get ingrown hairs like nobody's business. Like, every time I shave, I am guaranteed to get at least 4 ingrown hairs. Most of them are very painful too. So I haven't really had a good solution until the Ordinary glycolic acid. When I tell you guys, this might be a little TMI, but this is for the girls, okay? I'm willing to sacrifice for y'all. When I tell you, use that maybe 2 to 3 times a week. By the second use, I had ingrown hairs that have been stuck, that I've been trying to get out with tweezers for at least a week or 2 weeks. Gone. Naturally just squeezed out. It's almost like it extracts all of the whatever out of your pores and shrinks, minimizes the pores, kind of pushes whatever out to the surface. And it does the same exact thing to your face. It also helps with sweating, and I would think it would be too harsh to use regularly, but it is very, very good for my specific skin type, which is rare because again, I have very sensitive skin. It also comes with a lot, and it's very, very relatively cheap. I would recommend the Ordinary glycolic acid every single day if I could. Next category, toner. Again, we are starting off strong with witch hazel. Is there much more I need to say? Next is the Anua Heartleaf. This one, I just don't think it's meant for my skin type. It literally is like putting water on my face. It does nothing for me. It did help me for a little bit when it comes to calming breakouts, but I have acne prone skin, yes, but I don't really have acne breakouts consistently, where they need to be calmed. I don't have redness, and I don't have the whole puffiness and painfulness. I don't have those type of breakouts, but I feel if you do have those type of breakouts, or maybe if you have a pimple like that, you can use that toner and it'll probably help ease those symptoms. But as someone who doesn't have those type of breakouts, when I do break out, it's more of clogged pores type of thing. So it just doesn't work that well for me, but it might work well for other people. Next is the Haru Haru Black Rice. This one is pretty good, but it's one of those products that kind of just is there. It's hydrating, but it's not oh my God, my skin just had a drink of water. It's just good enough. It's nothing revolutionary. It comes with a lot though, which I do appreciate, and it is somewhat hydrating. The Glow Recipe Toner. This one was really good. It's very hydrating and it actually does last, but the scent is a little bit overbearing for me and it is very pricey, but it is definitely one of my favorite toners that I've used. I'm from Rice Toner. This one is really good because you can tell it's definitely somewhat natural and it has real rice water, which honestly is really, really good for your skin in so many different ways. But it's more than just hydrating, it's nourishing for your skin, which I think the previous two toners are missing. Fenty Fat Water. This is literally like an essence. It's so freaking good. It smells amazing. It's hydrating, it's nourishing, it lasts. It's one of the best toners I've used for my dry, sensitive skin. But the best toner I've used for my dry and sensitive skin is the Numbuzin number 3. That is my all-time favorite toner ever. It is so moisturizing, but it's lightweight. It doesn't have an overbearing scent. It's everything you can want in a toner. Next category is essence. I only have 2 essences that I've ever tried, which are the Cosrx and the Mixsoon. So my least favorite of those 2 essences is the Cosrx. And that is because it is not sourced as ethically as the Mixsoon Bean Essence. The Bean Essence is also a lot more hydrating, and I do sometimes break out from the Cosrx if I don't use the right products or if I don't really cleanse my skin very well. It kind of does lead to clogged pores sometimes, but it is very, very good for the quality of my skin overall. But I would say the Mixsoon is better because it does all of those things, hydrates my skin, all of that without breaking me out, without clogging my pores, and it's also sourced more ethically. Next category is serums. JLo Glow. I did not hesitate saying that at all. That line is terrible. Let me just say, that whole skincare collection, the JLo Glow, I bought it for a video and I regret it, okay? I mean, I made my money back, but still. Absolutely terrible line. That is the worst line of skincare that is available in Sephora. That peels all of my skincare off. It's like a peel-off mask. Why is your serum like a peel-off mask? Next is the Goodall Vitamin C. Y'all gassed that up. It is one of the top products on Amazon, and I will never understand why. It's a little too harsh. It doesn't really brighten my skin up like most other vitamin C's that I've used do. It doesn't feel that hydrating. It doesn't feel, it's just there. It's like a gel on your face and that's it. That's one product that I'm like, okay, where did y'all get the hype for this from? Where did that hype come from? Next is the Glow Recipe Dew Drops. I didn't really know where to put these because they're not really a serum, but they kind of are, so I just decided to throw it in serums. It's one of those products that is just there. It just gives you the look of being glowy, which is fine, especially if you're going for a certain type of look, but I just feel like you can use moisturizers or serums that are glowy in and of themselves and that actually absorb into your skin and are moisturizing for your skin. It does smell really good. It's a little overwhelming and it is really nice, but it doesn't do much for me. The Rhode. It was just like a standard serum. Like, it was hydrating, but it wasn't what it was chopped up to be. Like, considering it's called, like, glazed milk or whatever, and, like, the Rhode Lip Peptides, I love them, and, like, Hailey Bieber's whole thing is glowy glass skin. I went into purchasing that with the expectation that I'm going to look like a glazed donut with just, like, 2 pumps. But you gotta use a couple pumps to get a good glow. It's a little sticky. It's just not my cup of tea. Next on the list is the Ordinary, I think it's the hyaluronic acid. Yeah, the Ordinary hyaluronic acid. Ignore how dirty this bottle is, but I've actually kind of used this quite a bit, which is why y'all need to believe me when I say this. It peels. It peels. It peels, it peels, it peels, it peels. It does not absorb into my skin at all. People are like, oh, you gotta apply it on damp skin. You gotta apply it on da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. First of all, I always apply all my products on damp skin anyway. While the toner is on my face, I put my serum on. So my face is damp when I'm putting my serum on. I'm not gonna apply it on a completely damp skin, of course, because I'm using my glycolic acid and stuff like that. And I need to actually get it on my skin with a toning pad to be able to do that. So my skin can't be wet when I'm using it. It's just like, why is it so complicated to use a serum? And it's really good. And I can sometimes get away with using it, especially if my skin is extremely dry. If I like apply apply my products in a certain order, and if I'm just really careful with what products I use, and if I just like kind of rush through my skincare and put everything on before it even has the chance to peel. It's really good. It sucks because I wish it worked for me, but it just does not work that well. Next is the Numbuzin Skin Softening. This one is pretty good. This one's a very new concept to me because I've never used, it's kind of like a conditioner for your face, which is really interesting because I don't really have like rough skin or anything like that, but I can see like if you have dead skin, it does help to condition your skin, which is really cool, but it's just not necessarily the most important serum that I personally need for my skincare concerns. Next is the Torrid Dive-In. This one actually grew on me. At first, I didn't really like it that much. I was like, oh, come on, guys. Like, another one that you guys overhyped. But when I used it more and more, I actually really liked it. And I ended up using it like every single day. I definitely was a grower. It definitely was. Next is the Beauty of Joseon Glow Serum. This has been one of my favorites. It actually absorbs, slurps into my skin, and leaves my skin super glowy with this very beautiful, nice glow that's not greasy looking or oily looking. It's not heavy. It's lightweight. It's great. It's just a really small bottle, which is so sad. Like, it literally runs out within like 2 weeks, but it's a really good serum. Next is the Bioma Clarifying. This one is actually one of my like up there favorite serums because it's not only like clarifying, so when I'm breaking out or something, I can use it and it'll help my breakouts. The next morning I'll wake up and my breakouts are either gone or minimized, but it's also hydrating enough. Like, that's very, very rare to come across in a serum. Next is the Numbuzin Brightening Serum. This one is actually really, really good. It's replaced my vitamin C in the morning, and it's hydrating too. It's literally like vitamin C, all of those good stuff, very nourishing, but also hydrating, which again is a very rare combination to come across. And finally, my all-time favorite serum. Listen to me, I can't even talk. This has to be one of my favorite skincare products, point blank period, I have ever used. And that is, drum roll please, the Anua Dark Spot Serum. I've gone through 2 of those things and I've only discovered it like 6 months ago. And I'm gonna go back and get more. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. That is my favorite serum I've ever used. Not only is it extremely hydrating, moisturizing, it leaves your face with a nice glow, but it is also dark spot correcting. Like, it literally like gets rid of your dark spots. Of course, you have to do it over time, but it fades your dark spots like nothing ever has. It's insane. Next category, moisturizer. And of course, wasting no time, the JLo Beauty Moisturizer. Lame, boring, horrible, not moisturizing, sticky, doesn't do anything for my skin, sits on my skin, does not feel good, does not hydrate my skin. That's it. Neutrogena Hydra Boost. I don't know why this product is so gassed up. To be fair, I haven't used it in a couple of years. I bought it once, never again. It's just a little harsh for my sensitive skin, and it also just doesn't moisturize my skin that well. It's like water. Like, it looks nice at first, it looks hydrating, but then it sucks up into my skin within like an hour. The Rhode moisturizer was just like the serum, but a little less good. It just didn't hydrate my skin well at all. It felt a little casty, and it didn't really absorb well into my skin. It wasn't as hydrating as I was expecting it to be, which is so disappointing because, again, I love the Rhode lip peptides. So, Pond's. Pond's is a good moisturizer if you have dry skin but not sensitive skin. It's one of those ones that's really, really harsh for my skin, but it does definitely moisturize my skin very well. I bought one a while ago. I used it maybe 3 times, 4 times, but my skin just simply could not handle it. Like, it was way too, I don't know if I'm allergic to a chemical in there or something, but it was just way, way, way too harsh for my skin as a sensitive queen. Torrid Dive-In. This one is a lot like the Neutrogena to me. It's not the greatest. It's good though. It's not bad, but it's just not my favorite moisturizer that I've used. Surprisingly, the Skin by Kim. This one also was a grower on me too, because I bought it with the intention of it being like, oh my god, like this better be the best moisturizer I've ever used, because Skin is not cheap. And then when I put it on the first time, I was like, oh, that's it. Like literally that's it. But over time I was like, you know what, actually this is really good. A little bit goes a long way. It's moisturizing enough on its own to where I don't have to mix it with anything thicker, and it doesn't break me out. And it does leave a very, very nice glow on my skin. It's not casty, it absorbs well, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good, and it went a long way, guys. Like, I had that little tiny jar. It's very small because the top half is empty. It's literally just this little tiny jar. It lasted me like, I want to say like 4 months. Next is the Cetaphil PM. This one was a little harsh for me as well, but I see why, because it healed my skin so well. It's like an acne treatment, but a moisturizer, which I always love those two combos together, because I can treat my acne while moisturizing my skin without it being too casty or too heavy, and then risking breaking out even more, just for the sake of hydration. Next is the Glow Recipe Moisturizer. I actually really like this one a lot more than the toner and the dewdrops, of course. Mostly because it's just really good. Like, it's a really good moisturizer. Like, it really absorbs well into your skin. It doesn't break you out, it doesn't clog pores. It smells pretty good. It's not overwhelming. It's not, again, it doesn't like feel too much on my skin as a sensitive girl. It's just really surprisingly really good. The Isntree Hyaluronic Acid Moisturizer. This is a very, very, very good moisturizer. That's it. Like, it is just the most drink of water, long lasting, all day moisturizer. Like, that moisturizer ran out so fast because I was using it so much. Like, it was so freaking good. Next up is the Innisfree Cherry Blossom Moisturizer. It surprised me. I repurchased it multiple times, and it seems like one of those things that's gonna run out really fast because it's a small little tiny jar and it's like clear. So it's like, oh, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, is this water that I'm supposed to put on my face? But it's very hydrating, very moisturizing, leaves you with a very, very nice glow, and a little bit really does go a long way. It's insane. You would not think that it does, but it really, really does. Next is the Panoxyl PM Moisturizer. This one, again, is one of those acne treatment / moisturizing stuff. It's definitely not as moisturizing as a lot of my other moisturizers, but no moisturizer clears my skin up like that one does. And it also has this like pepperminty smell to it, which I'm not a huge fan of, because it kind of smells like I'm putting toothpaste on my face. But besides those two little tiny things, when I mix it with like my beef tallow, it is phenomenal. Next is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast. This one I do have to mix with my beef tallow as well, but it is extremely, extremely good for hydrating my skin. I do also mix it with the Panoxyl PM because it's very, very hydrating. I wake up with my skin looking glowy. Like, it's insane. Like, if I don't use that, it's very, very clear. Like, I'll wake up with my skin looking a lot drier, but if I use that before I go to bed, mix it with my PM moisturizer, my skin will look like I just put on moisturizer and all my skincare when I wake up in the morning. It's insane. Finally, my top favorite moisturizer of all time, which might be surprising to a lot of people because it's not like the super viral, like whatever. It's not even a brand. It's just a thing, which is beef tallow. Get some beef tallow and put it in the cart now. Again, you know what to do. I already showed you guys. Go to the products, get you some beef tallow, and call it a day. That's all I gotta say. So let me know in the comments down below what your favorite products are from each category. And also just share all of your little like new skincare finds and all that stuff. Our community is a no gatekeeping zone. We all share it and be putting each other on game. I be seeing y'all like asking each other questions about certain products. Y'all get right on top of it, help the other girlies out. And that's what all of this is about, is helping the other girlies on their skincare and beauty and health journey. And if you want to continue to improve your journey, you know what to do, girl. You got to stick around because I'll be putting y'all on and all the other girls be putting everybody on. So make sure you hit the subscribe button with the post notifications though, so you don't miss another video. Anyways, it has been your girl Tima, and I will see you on another video soon. Bye, girls.